Hello, this is wmpyr. This was a requested video actually, and I was asked to show my stick collection and explain like the purposes for each stick and things of that nature. You could read about this stuff, probably way more direct answers and stuff on my FAQ page, frequently asked questions page on my website, which you could find the link to that on my YouTube channel, the main YouTube channel. When you go to like about, please go there and you'll find it. I'll post a link also on whatchamacallit, on the description box below as well. But in the meantime, yeah, just I guess here to just talk about my sticks. First of all, this is not everything. This is a majority of it, but there's always a couple of sticks just all over the house. So you know, for, I don't want to say every room there's a stick, because there isn't, but they're all over the place. Let's see, where do I start? There's so much to talk about. Let's see. First of all, oh yeah, my collection used to be a lot more, right? I had, like, honestly, it was like a small pile, a small mountain of sticks, right? But I was moving from apartment to apartment. Basically, every year I moved to a new apartment. And because of that, it was just a pain. So I downsized. And also, when you are teaching in person and you have sometimes very special students come in, everyone's special, but I mean, certain people who show a tremendous amount of dedication and stuff. And for those people that earn the sticks, you know, you pass them on. It would almost be wrong not to pass on the sticks to these kinds of people. So you do that, and once again, your collection starts getting smaller and smaller and smaller, you know. So anyway, all right, let me get into this before, because I could just go on forever about stuff like that and not touch these sticks even. So this one right here is on the thicker side, and it's just a single stick. So if I want to, I could pair this up with another one and have them on different sizes. Why is it important to have this? One's a little bit longer and a little bit thicker than some of the other ones you see here, and it's good to practice that way, because at least the way that I teach Eskrima, improvised weapons training is extremely important. So I know a lot of students like to use sticks that are like equal in size. So you get something like this, where it's like, this is virtually identical, and in height, weight, you know, all that stuff. Of course, so they're easier to work with, and they're lighter, and they're shorter. The reason for this, the PVC ones, are because when I do a lot of the filming stuff, it's indoors. And when I do a lot of the training stuff indoors, you want a lighter stick, because if you accidentally hit something with a lighter stick, it's, you know, you're less likely to break stuff. So if it's longer and heavier, you're going to break stuff like the fan, the wall, the door, the TV, window, anything. So obviously with a lighter stick, it's safer. So for that reason, you go with something like that. If you're going to be doing a lot of partner training, you're going to want something durable. That's why a lot of times it's made of rattan and stuff. These two sticks right here, this is very special for me, because in the early 90s, I bought these from Professor Remy Presas. And yeah, that's my teacher's teacher. So very special for me in that sense. And it's crazy, because talking to Professor Bram Frank recently, he said that he possibly could have been the one to supply these sticks to Professor Remy Presas. So that's crazy, you know. So in a way, it was like I bought them from, you know, indirectly from Professor Bram Frank. So that's pretty awesome right there. But okay, so yeah, the different sizes are important, because for improvised weapons training, you don't want to get comfortable with perfectly, you know, symmetrical sticks, and then in a real life situation, you might have a cup in one hand and a belt in the other hand. So the only way around getting used to something like that is, in your daily practice, include training with sticks that are not exactly the same size. That's not as extreme as a cup and a belt, or you know, a baseball cap and a shoe or something like that, but it'll help you get closer to that one step at a time. And then, of course, in your training, you should actually include holding a hammer in one hand, a wrench in the other, and practice doing your forms, heaven six, and all that stuff. All right, that's the only way to go around that. But to get used to it is, so if your sticks are not perfectly symmetrical, don't get upset. I say that's a good thing. That's a really, really good thing. These right here are from the Renaissance Festival. And as you can see, this area here is kind of weighted. They're not that long, but because this is weighted, it makes them, you know, it's an interesting feeling. It's different from just a Eskrima stick that's completely solid and heavy. It's different from that because the weight is all mostly here, you know. So working with stuff like that is interesting. This one right here is an African walking stick that a friend of mine got for me from Africa, which is awesome. And you know, this is definitely a lot longer than the average Eskrima stick, and that's a completely different feeling as well. I do have some sticks that are the size of bow staffs and Joe staffs as well, and they're just not here, but I do like working with those also very, very much. This one is a PVC pipe that I found just on the street, and it's been with me for a very long time, and it's extra thick, and it's very, very durable, and I like it. And since I found it, and if something happens to it, you know, it was trash to begin with. So, but believe it or not, you know, they in the Filipino martial arts, there is a saying that you will find sticks, you know, in a real life situation. You'll be able to find something like that. And Professor Bram Frank says, like, no, you won't. You're not gonna find it. And he's probably right. But in my case, it was crazy because when I was living in San Antonio, at night I would go out for a jog at the certain area that I was in. And I'd go out jogging and I would find sticks, man. It was crazy. And they were either PVC or metal. I found some wooden ones too, but they were either PVC or metal. And the metal ones, some were too thin that if you used them even once, they would just bend because they're metal, and they're, you know, that's the nature of metal if it's soft like that. But then there were some harder metal ones. I mean, like they could be spears, they could be post-apocalyptic, like Mad Max type weapons, and some were like brutal, and they were thicker than and heavier than this, and I enjoyed working with those too. They were like war clubs. And I had, like I said, a whole bunch of these sticks that I accumulated. Plus, at another point, I opened a school, and before I was going to open my school, I got into business with two other guys, and we bought like a ton of sticks, and we separated. We basically went three-way with the sticks. The problem was the guy that bought it, he like divided them all up. And then when we came in, he was like, okay, just give me your money and here's your portion, which was not cool at all because, you know, that means like he got first dibs on everything and we just have to take his word on it, so that was very unfortunate. My friend got really upset and he was like, I'll never do business with that guy again. So, you know, I mean, there's a lot of politics like this when you open up a school with somebody. So that's why I made sure I didn't open up a school with anybody. And the financial responsibility was 100% just me when I did open a school twice. I had a lot of offers, but I didn't go take up on any of them, you know, and I just did it myself. And if I lost money, then I lost, which I did. And it was just me, so it was cool, you know. But yeah, we bought the sticks together because, you know, we figure they could use, you know, they had their own reasons for it as well. And for me, it was because of the schooling. But anyway, so yeah, just working with a ton of sticks is a great idea, you know, because each one is so different from the next. So this big PVC pipe, I do like it because it's heavier. Now these last four right here are from Mountain Stormworks, and that guy is just, he was an amazing craftsman. I hope he's doing well, in him and his family. But at one point he was just sending me so much stuff. I felt bad, and I was just like, dude, you know, I don't want you to just be sending me stuff because it costs a lot of money and stuff. So I basically told him not to, and I don't know if he took it the wrong way or whatever, but this stuff, I treasure it, and the other stuff that he made me as well. I mean, I think they're state of the art. And we're talking about like blades and stuff that are made of this material right here, the acrylic stuff. And so it's, I mean, they're basically almost invisible. And I mean, in a real life situation, a knife is difficult to see as it is. So imagine something that's acrylic. It's invisible. It's a predator weapon. And then it's razor sharp. So it's crazy. It's state of the art. Like, this is like stuff that you would see in The Bourne Identity if they knew about this stuff. But we don't see it in those movies. But anyway, this acrylic stick it has a hefty weight to it. It's very durable. Like I said, I treasure it. These other ones, they're octagon. Well, both of these are octagon shape, and the octagon shape give it really unique characteristics and stuff. For combat, you definitely want a heavier, longer stick that's really hard and solid. In partner training, you know, it doesn't need to be that heavy. It doesn't need to be that solid, but it needs to be durable enough that it can go through the partner training. If you are just training by yourself, like I said, indoors, then, you know, you're going to want something light. If you want to work more on strength training, then you want something heavier. But then if you want to work on skill training, you don't want something heavy, because then you'll be battling the sticks and trying to learn the skill. So that's too much. So you are going to want to go with something lighter. So anyway, I'm going through a lot of info here, and the video is getting too long, but please visit the fact page. And I need to rewrite that fact page, because there's essentially, it was 2 fact pages that I combined and just made it into one. So there might be some redundant stuff in there. Actually, I know there is. But please be patient and read through it. And there's a lot of good info in there that could help you out. So anyway, thank you for listening, and take care, folks.